Well, good morning. It's really exciting to be here this morning and have the opportunity to join this panel with my illustrious cohort and companions on the National Academy of Studies, National Academy of Sciences study. So I like to liken myself and call myself a hybrid. As Young Moo just mentioned, I've had many touch points across institutions that have been at the forefront of the question of integration in learning and research. And I find it really exciting with the last two presentations to see how many programs and institutions and centers have blossomed and grown from this initiative in terms of the importance of integrating both STEM, the arts, and humanities. But I'd like to take perhaps a little bit of a philosophical stance on why this is important now as well. So I am a creator. When I make my mark, it is guided by an astute process of looking, seeing, asking, and provoking from what I see, hear, do, and encounter in the world. My interpretation of the ebb and flow of the ecosystem in which I exist is my evidence of the importance of my stance. I am an appreciator of creativity. I think the world should be beautiful, emotional, and moving. And this is what I feel when I observe, watch, listen to, and participate in humanity. And I am an explorer. I deconstruct computational technologies and methodologies to build alternative systems that juxtapose and broaden the narratives we employ as we integrate those computational technologies and tools into the world. All human beings carry with them a set of words that they employ to justify their actions, their beliefs, and their lives. These are the words in which we formulate our praise of our friends and contempt of our enemies, our long-term projects, our deepest self-doubt, and our highest hopes. They are the words in which we tell, sometimes prospectively and sometimes retrospectively, the story of our lives. Richard Rorty called these words a person's final vocabulary. These final vocabularies are used to decipher the meaning, implications, and intentions of another person. They are final in the sense that the owner of the vocabulary is limited by its scope. According to Rorty, there are three types of reactions that occur when an individual is asked to process information that challenges the limits of their final vocabulary. The first is to recede into passivity. The second is to strike out in violence. And the third is the stance of the liberal ironist, who maintains the flexibility to reposition her descriptions of her motivating beliefs and ideologies. The liberal ironist is the modern intellectual who lives in a society that relishes freedom of opinion and expression. She is defined by three traits. She has radical and continuing doubts about her own final vocabulary because she is impressed by other vocabularies taken as final by the people and/or the mass media she has encountered. 2, she realizes that arguments phrased in her present vocabulary can neither support nor dissolve her doubts. And 3, insofar as she philosophizes about her situation, she does not think her vocabulary is closer to reality than others, nor is it connected to a power not herself. The liberal ironist spends her time worrying that the possibility that she has been initiated into the wrong tribe, taught to play the wrong language game. The liberal ironist holds suspect definitive claims to truth by any final rule structures, and the liberal ironist holds suspect definitive claims to truth by any final vocabulary. Rather, she calls from a broad continuum of beliefs, ideals, processes, and rule structures, a landscape of philosophical, cultural, and technical concepts. And she molds her abstract concepts and essentialist ideals into systems that enable her to recognize, understand, challenge, and develop the properties from which progressive change can be made. Are academic disciplines the engines for discovery and innovation, or are they protectors of territorial boundaries for knowledge confirmation, and/or are they both? Is there a commonality across all disciplines of knowledge? The humanities teach close reading practices as an essential tool in appreciation for context across time and space. Qualitative analysis of social structures and relationships, the importance of perspective, the capacity for empathic understanding, analysis of structure of an argument or of the analysis itself, and study of phenomenology in the human world. The arts teach the tools of creative platforms and methods to expand the creative vision and grounding in a broader understanding of the societal, cultural, and political ecosystem through the study of language and visual systems, critical theories, historical precedents, reflection, action, and constructive critique. The sciences teach the use of evidence to construct testable explanations and predictions of natural phenomena, as well as the knowledge generated through the process and methodology of objective observation, experimentation, induction, repetition, critical analysis, verification, and testing. Engineering is taught by using design as a problem-solving approach that can integrate various skills and types of thinking, analytical and synthetic things, detailed and holistic understanding, planning and building, and implicit procedural knowledge and explicit declarative knowledge. Engineering fields teach how to identify a need and design an efficient, functional, durable, sustainable, useful process or product that will meet that need. And medicine fields can teach modern medical professionals to employ evidence-based practices by knowing where and how to find the best possible sources of evidence, formulating clear clinical questions, search for the relevant answers, and determine when and how to integrate these new findings into practice. So in Richard Rorty's theory of the liberal ironist, solidarity is not thought of as recognition of a core self, the human essence, and all human beings. Rather, it is thought of as the ability to see more and more traditional differences of tribe, religion, race, customs, and the like as unimportant when compared with similarities. Solidarity is the ability to think of people wildly different from ourselves as included in the range of us. Returning to Einstein's metaphor that all disciplines of human knowledge are branches from the same tree, the trunk of the tree represents the core from which disciplines of higher education draw. The branches are where Einstein located religion, arts, and sciences. If we think about it, branches grow away from the trunk, remaining integrally connected to the core strengths of the whole, and yet visually separate from each other. Extending the metaphor, there are natural energies that flow freely through the tree's rigid structure that fuel the health and/or the demise of those branches, from sunlight and water to insects and parasites. Like those natural energies, the stance of the liberal ironist fuels the flow of inquiry across and between final vocabularies or branches to challenge one's own assumptions, beliefs, and knowledge production patterns. The liberal ironist can withstand, question, and negotiate the contingencies and the historical conditions of her thoughts and beliefs to come to a more insightful, enriched, and broader platform for inquiry, innovation, and discovery, to recognize, understand, challenge, and build the properties from which change can be made. Integration in learning teaches us how to embrace, nurture, and grow our inner liberal ironists, to develop the ability to think wildly, to think of people wildly different from ourselves as included in the range of us. Thank you.